She was drunk, defenseless, and seconds away from a nightmare, until a pale stranger stepped out of the shadows and saved her with impossible speed. But when that same vampire collapsed at her feet the next day, bleeding and hunted, Isla Rae learned fate wasn't done with either of them. Welcome back, my beautiful family and friends. If you're hooked in and you're ready to enjoy this story, click subscribe and let me know in the comments where you're watching from, because tomorrow I will be giving you another story just as interesting as this one, and you don't want to miss it. Now, let us begin. Isla Rae didn't usually drink on work nights, but tonight felt like an exception, a tiny rebellion against the exhaustion that lived behind her ribs. The bar where she worked, the Velvet Fox, buzzed louder than usual after closing time. A coworker's birthday meant cheap shots, bad singing, and a kind of laughter that made her chest feel lighter for once. She only had 2 drinks. 3, maybe. But on her small frame, it was enough to soften the edges of the world. "Girl, you gonna get home?" Her friend, Margot, asked, lipstick smudged and curls wild from dancing on top of a booth like an unhinged Beyoncé. "I'm fine," Isla reassured with a shy smile. "Promise." Truthfully, she felt warm and floaty, but not messy, not sloppy, just free. A rare feeling. The night air hit her like a wave when she stepped out the back door, cold, sharp, carrying Chicago's usual perfume of cigarettes, alley grease, and leftover rain. The streetlights cast long golden paths on the slick pavement, and the city hummed its usual midnight lullaby. Isla hugged her bag to her side and started walking. She should have taken the main road. She should have called an Uber. She should have remembered she was a small, pretty girl in a big, unfriendly city. Instead, she took the shortcut. The alley was narrow, shadowed, and smelled like damp metal. But she'd walked it 100 times before, and nothing bad had ever happened. Until tonight. She was halfway through when 2 men stepped out from behind a dumpster. Her heart stumbled. "Hey there, sweetheart," one said, grinning like he'd already decided her fate. "Little late to be walking alone," the other added, blocking her path. Her breath hitched. "I'm just going home." "Yeah? How about we walk with you?" She stepped back. They stepped forward. Her hands shook. The alcohol evaporated from her veins, replaced by a cold, sharp fear that made her skin prickle. "Please, let me go. I don't want any trouble." "Relax, baby. We'll take good care of you." One reached out, fingers brushing her arm. But he never got to finish touching her, because a voice, smooth, low, and edged with something ancient, cut through the alley like a blade. "Take your hands off her." The men froze. Isla turned. A man stood at the mouth of the alley. Tall, still, pale as moonlight. His black coat swayed in the cold breeze. His eyes, his eyes, glowed faintly in unreal, eerie silver blue that didn't belong to this world. Something about him radiated danger, power, and an old, quiet sorrow. "Who the hell are you?" One of the men spat. The stranger didn't answer. He moved, not ran, not lunged. Moved, so fast Isla's vision blurred. 1 second, he was 10 feet away. The next, he was right in front of her attackers. He grabbed the first man by the wrist. There was a sickening crack. The man screamed. The second swung a knife. The stranger didn't flinch. He grabbed the blade mid-swing. Metal screeched in his palm, bending like foil. The man dropped it in terror. "What are you?" he choked. The stranger leaned close, his voice a whisper from a nightmare. "Leave." The men ran, stumbling, crying, not even daring to look back. Isla trembled, breath shaking. The stranger turned to her. For a moment, they simply stared at each other, his eyes softening, hers wide with drunk confusion and fear. "You're safe now," he said gently, voice lowering. "Go home, Isla." She swallowed. "How do you know my name?" He didn't answer. Instead, he stepped closer and brushed a knuckle across her cheek, almost checking that she was real. Then he whispered, "Get inside. Lock the door. Forget this alley." Her knees wobbled. A warmth spread through her chest, like safety poured into her veins. "Who are you?" she asked, voice fragile. He hesitated. Then, with a ghost of a sad smile, he murmured, "No one you're supposed to meet." And he vanished. Not walked, not ran. Vanished like smoke caught in wind. Isla blinked hard, swaying slightly. Her vision blurred. The fear, adrenaline, and alcohol mixed until the night felt surreal, like a dream she couldn't fully hold on to. "Go home, Isla," she whispered, repeating his voice. She somehow made it to her apartment, locked her door, and collapsed in a bed still fully dressed. The next morning, she questioned everything. Had it actually happened? Did she imagine him? Could fear and drunken panic create a hero out of thin air? She checked her body. No bruises. Checked her phone. Checked her messages. Nothing extraordinary. Maybe she'd been lucky. Or hallucinating. Or both. By the time she left for her morning shift, she'd convinced herself it was trauma mixed with tequila. That's why she didn't expect anything strange to happen today. She planned to serve coffees, take orders, clean sticky tables, smile politely, and survive. But the universe had other plans. The Velvet Fox looked different in daylight. Less magical, more tired. The neon sign buzzed weakly, and the red booze looked worn out from decades of stories they collected. Isla tied her apron around her waist and took a deep breath. "You good?" Margot asked, popping gum. "You look like you fought your demons last night." Isla flushed. "Just tired." She didn't want to sound crazy trying to explain the stranger from the alley. The morning rush was slow. A couple old men playing chess. A woman ordering a latte with too many instructions. A college kid writing something in a notebook like his future depended on it. Then the bell above the door chimed. Isla glanced up and froze. A man stepped in. Her breath caught. It was him, the stranger from the alley. Except he didn't look powerful now, or terrifying, or invincible. He looked injured, terribly injured. His skin, already pale, was almost translucent. His coat was torn, streaked with what looked like dried blood. His hair, black and slightly wavy, fell over his forehead as he staggered inside. He scanned the room, eyes unfocused but still that same impossible silver blue. Then he collapsed. Chairs scraped. People gasped. Isla dropped her tray and ran. She knelt beside him, heart pounding, hands shaking. "Sir, hey, can you hear me? Stay with me." His lips parted slightly. "Isla." The world tilted. He knew her name. Again. For real. Not a dream. Not trauma. Not alcohol. Her blood turned cold and hot at once. She touched his chest. He wasn't breathing like a normal man. No rise and fall. Just stillness. His veins glowed faintly beneath his skin like dim silver threads. "Call 911, someone shouted. "No." His voice was hoarse but sharp enough to cut through the air. People jerked back. Isla frowned. "You're hurt badly. You need help." He grabbed her wrist. Not hard, but desperate. "No hospitals. Please." She swallowed, torn between fear and instinct. Every inch of her said this wasn't normal. That he wasn't normal. Yet, she wasn't scared of him. Not like last night. He saved her life. Now he needed hers. "Okay," she whispered. "Come on. Lean on me." She slipped her arm under him, helping him up. He trembled, like he'd been through hell. Every step was agony for him. But he followed her, trusting her for reasons she couldn't understand. She led him through the back hallway, past the storage closet, into the tiny staff room. She locked the door behind them. He collapsed into the chair, head falling back, chest unmoving. "What happened to you?" she whispered. His eyes opened weakly. "Hunters." "Hunters? Like people hunting what? Animals?" His lips curled into a faint, painful smile. "Not animals." Her pulse quickened. "Who are you?" He exhaled. "Orion." The name vibrated through the small room like a secret being released. Isla swallowed hard. "Okay, Orion, what are you?" He closed his eyes. Something you should run from. But she didn't move. Something inside her, bravery or foolishness or fate, held her still. She leaned closer. "Last night you saved me. So today, I'm saving you." His eyelashes fluttered. A tiny, disbelieving breath left him. "Why?" She didn't hesitate. "Because no one's ever protected me before. Not once. And you did." Silence settled between them. Then, his fangs slid out. Slow, sharp, beautiful, terrifying. Isla gasped, hand flying to her mouth, but she didn't scream. Finally, everything made sense. The speed, the strength, the eyes. The way he bent metal. The way he vanished. Orion Hale wasn't human, but he was hurt, bleeding, alone, and she was the only person in the world who could help him now. She took a shaky breath. Tell me what to do. Orion's eyes opened, slow, stunned, and full of something she didn't understand yet. Hope. You're not afraid? He whispered. I am, she admitted, but I'm more afraid of losing you. His chest tightened at her words. Outside the staff room door, customers chatted, utensils clinked, the world continued as if nothing earth-shattering was happening. But inside this tiny room, the universe had flipped. A vampire saved a drunk waitress last night. Today, the waitress was about to save the vampire. Reflection question / CTA moment. Subtle. If someone saved your life once, would you risk everything to save theirs? Tell me what you think below. Isla Rae had never seen someone look so powerful and so breakable at the same time. Orion Hale slumped in the staff room chair, his unnaturally perfect face drained of color, his breath shallow, his body trembling like every muscle had been torn apart. His fangs still glimmered faintly beneath his lips, evidence of the truth she could no longer deny. He was a vampire, a real one, bleeding and dying right in front of her. And she was the only person in this world who knew. Tell me what to do, she whispered again, louder this time, pushing down her fear. She had faced danger last night. She had faced loneliness for years. She could face this too. Orion's eyes opened, slow, pained but alert. Silver blue, glowing lightly. I need blood, he rasped. Not much, but enough to heal. Hunters use silver. It slows regeneration. Isla flinched. Blood? Like my blood. He blinked, almost ashamed. I would never ask that of you. You're not asking, she said, voice shaking but steady. I'm offering. His eyes widened a fraction. Isla, you saved me last night. If you hadn't been there, her voice cracked. I owe you my life. He leaned forward, gripping the arm of the chair as a violent tremor overtook him. You don't owe me anything. I intervened because I couldn't bear to see harm touch you. Her breath hitched. Why? He closed his eyes again. Because even in danger, you had light in you. And I haven't seen light in centuries. She swallowed hard. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Outside the door, the world moved normally, coffee machines steaming, plates clinking, Margot laughing too loudly, customers complaining about the air conditioning. If someone walked into this tiny room right now, they would see her kneeling beside a supernatural creature, holding his hand like she'd known him her whole life. Isla inhaled deeply and rolled up her sleeve. Tell me how. He stared at her arm like it was the sun. Beautiful. Dangerous. Necessary. I could take a small amount, but only if you stay calm. Fear makes the taste overpowering. It restores too much too fast. Okay, she breathed. He hesitated again, jaw tightening. Isla, I don't want to hurt you. You won't. How do you know? She lifted his hand, the one trembling hardest, and placed it against her cheek. His fingers were cold, but his touch was gentle. Because if you wanted to, you already could have. Something in his chest crumpled at that. His throat moved in a heavy swallow. Finally, he nodded. Everything slowed. The room grew smaller. Her heartbeat grew louder. Orion leaned closer, moving with a fragile reverence she didn't expect from a predator. He brushed her hair aside with the back of his hand, exposing the soft part of her neck. Are you sure? He whispered, his breath warm against her skin. Yes. His lips grazed her neck, feather-light, almost apologetic. Then, his fangs pierced. A sharp sting, a rush of heat, a strange, dizzy flutter through her body. She gasped, clutching his shoulder. His hand immediately slid to her waist, steadying her, holding her with unnatural care. He drank slowly, gently, nothing violent or greedy. Just enough. Warmth spread from the bite into her spine, her stomach, her legs. It wasn't painful. It was overwhelming, like electricity mixed with warmth, mixed with the quietest kind of intimacy. After a moment, he pulled away, his breath uneven, his eyes brighter, no longer dull with pain, but glowing with renewed strength. I'm okay, she whispered when she saw the panic flicker across his face. He pressed his thumb lightly against the bite, sealing it instantly. You shouldn't be, he murmured, voice low and reverent. But you are the strongest human I've ever met. Her cheeks flushed. Something shifted in the air, something quiet and unstoppable. But the moment shattered when footsteps approached the staff room. Isla jerked back. Orion moved faster than her eyes could follow. He slipped into the shadow behind the storage shelf just as the door handle rattled. Isla, you in here? Margot called. Isla swallowed, trying to steady her voice. Why, yeah, just cleaning something. Be right out. Margot didn't open the door. Okay, babe, but hurry. Some guy's complaining about his eggs being too yellow. When her steps faded, Isla exhaled shakily. You can come out. Orion emerged from the shadows. His wounds were closing. His color had returned. His breath was steady. But something else, too, had returned. The predator in the way he held his shoulders, the power in his gaze, the immortal danger he'd briefly lost. You saved my life, he said quietly. You saved mine first. He looked at her for a long moment, unreadable. Then he stepped closer. The men from last night, they weren't working alone. Hunters have infiltrated Chicago. They must have seen me intervene. They tracked me. He paused. Which means you're not safe either. Her stomach dropped. Because of you? Because of what I am. She swallowed the fear rising in her throat. What do we do? First, you need to leave this bar, he said. Now, hunters won't attack a crowded place, but they might watch it. They might already be close. Isla felt her pulse spike. I need my things. No, he said firmly. You need nothing except me. She blinked. Orion. His jaw flexed, torn between urgency and restraint. You don't understand how determined hunters are. Once they see me save you, they will assume you matter. They will follow you, use you, hurt you. I will not let that happen. She hesitated. Something inside her trembled, not with fear, but with belief. I trust you, she said softly. He froze like she had said something impossible, something forbidden. Then he held out his hand. Come with me. She took it. He led her out through the back exit, slipping through shadows like he was made of them. Isla's heart beat wildly as they moved through the alley, this time with Orion at her side. But halfway down the block, Orion stopped cold. Isla bumped into him. What? He pulled her behind him instantly, body tense as steel. 3 men stood at the end of the alley. Not drunk strangers this time. These men wore dark tactical jackets, armored gloves, silver-coated weapons gleaming under streetlight. And on each of their collars was a symbol, 2 cross stakes inside a circle. Hunters. The middle one smiled. Found you. Orion didn't flinch. You'll regret this. We already regret letting you live this long, the hunter growled. The 2 on the sides stepped forward, lifting silver crossbows. Isla gasped, clutching Orion's arm. We have to run. They're faster, Orion murmured. But I'm stronger. Before she could respond, one hunter fired. The silver bolt sliced the air. Orion moved. He grabbed Isla, pulling her into his chest as he spun. The bolt grazed his shoulder, burning as it passed. He hissed through clenched teeth. Another shot fired. Orion shoved Isla behind a dumpster and blurred across the alley in a supernatural flash, slamming the nearest hunter into the wall with bone-shattering force. Stay down, he yelled at her. But Isla peeked around the dumpster anyway. Her heart slammed against her ribs as Orion fought with brutal desperation. He dodged a blade, broke a crossbow with his bare hands, threw a hunter into the trash pile so hard it collapsed under him. But one hunter, larger, faster, charged at Orion with a silver-tipped stake. No, Isla screamed. Orion blocked the strike, but the hunter slammed his fist into Orion's jaw, sending him crashing to the ground. Isla froze. Without thinking, without logic, without fear, she stood. Itchy why, she shouted. The hunter turned. Isla grabbed the nearest thing she could, a broken piece of pipe, and ran at him like she wasn't the smallest person in the alley. She swung with everything she had. The metal struck his head. He stumbled. Orion surged up, slamming the hunter to the ground and knocking him unconscious. Silence fell. Isla gasped for breath, shaking, adrenaline roaring in her ears. Orion looked at her like she had done the impossible. Isla, you just saved you, she finished breathlessly. A slow, stunned smile curved his mouth. Yes, you did. She swayed a little, overwhelmed. He caught her instantly, hands warm against her arms, holding her steady. Are you hurt? No, she whispered. You're trembling. You are too. Their eyes locked. Stillness. Heat. Something forming between them that neither could stop. You shouldn't have risked yourself like that, he murmured. You shouldn't have risked yourself for me last night. He exhaled, something breaking open in his expression. You are extraordinary. Before she could answer, distant sirens echoed. Orion's grip tightened. We have to go. More hunters will come. Where? She whispered. He held her hand, not pulling, not forcing, but guiding her. Somewhere safe. She followed. Down the alley. Around the corner. Into the deeper part of Chicago night. And as they disappeared into the shadows together, Isla realized something. Last night changed everything. Today changed even more. And whatever tomorrow would bring, she wasn't facing it alone. She had saved a vampire. And now, he was hers to protect too. Would you risk your safety for someone who once saved you? Tell me in the comments what you would have done. Thank you for watching this story to the end. If you enjoyed this story, you will surely love the next one. It's as crazier and more intriguing as you can ever imagine. So do check it out. Click on the image showing on your screen right now to watch the next one.